Quantum Conversations, your portal to the inner realms. Access infinite possibilities, infinite mastery, and infinite love. Mind-expanding, heart-opening conversations with some of the greatest spiritual teachers, luminaries, and healers of today's world. Usher in new earth by living in your sacred heart. Quantum Conversations is brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. Home of music from the universe, online healing retreats, and this program. Claim your free registration to daily shows at AcousticHealth.com. AcousticHealth.com, your portal to the inner realms. Our program starts shortly. Welcome to another Quantum Conversation, brought to you by AcousticHealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and I invite you to sit back as we enter the quantum realm, that space of the greater part of you. It is your connection to infinite possibilities, infinite potential, and infinite mastery. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to this very sacred space in this quantum conversation. Today we are talking about the healing method of Metatronia. This is a high vibrational tool that aligns you with source light. And Metatronia therapy is here to assist all of us in our light evolution. We are here with the founder of Metatronia Therapy, Tammy Myshak. Let's welcome Tammy Myshak back to Quantum Conversations. Tammy, hello. Thank you for being here once again.
Oh, lovely. Thank you for having me, Lauren. It's always a pleasure.
It is always a pleasure. We've done a lot of shows with Metatronia Therapy. We've done online healing retreat webinars with Metatronia Therapy, and it is exquisite. And the best way to experience it is to feel it. And we're going to offer a little bit of a session today for everyone to be able to feel this energy. As we start here, Tammy, please share with everyone what this is all about, really how it came to you for those who are not familiar, and really what it is that we're working with here.
Yeah, basically, Lauren, I was working sort of Ministry of Defence for a lot of years, doing administration, and just a period in my life my husband got quite poorly, and I got a lot of stress and those sort of anxiety things where someone's sort of really ill in your family, and a little voice was saying to me, if you don't move, we'll move you. And I'm like, well, what is this? Am I going mad? Do I need to go and get medication? Because I really was feeling like it was a breakdown. And it was kind of, looking back now with hindsight, it was almost, although it was awful my husband getting ill, he's fine now, but at the time he was very, very, very poorly. It was almost as if they used that as a catalyst to help me to vibrationally shift. So the job I was doing at the time, I just said, look, I can't do this anymore. It was as if I was walking around in like one of those divers metal suits where you just can't walk. My energy depleted, and I know now, looking back, I was working against myself if I had stayed and not listened. Luckily, I took a leap of faith and I listened to this still small voice of calm, if you like, telling me that I needed to trust what was going on here, that I was going to help people, but I needed to help myself first by listening to this sort of divine guidance, I guess. So I left the job, ended up in bed for a few months, sort of just completely debilitated. And looking back now, I realise that had to happen in order for me to break one cycle of programming and opening up into this new divine sort of awareness of the work that I would be doing. So it took a lot of trust. Now, my personal journey was one of trusting, expanding, listening to something that I couldn't see but I could hear and feel, And I trusted in that, and Metatronia became. Metatronia is simply put, it's simply just source energy, the creator energy. And if I hadn't have listened, I'd have probably still be sat behind a desk wondering what this pull was within me to do something which was of much more value than just sitting at a desk. So I listened, I took the leap of faith, and it's the 10th anniversary of Metatronia this year, which is so exciting. But my journey, I had to go through that for me to be able to assist and explain and support other people that are too on their journey of this great mystery, this sacred ascension journey.
That's so beautiful. I love hearing those stories, because if we didn't listen, we could have spiraled further into despair and hardship. So I always love those stories where we do listen and we do follow that guidance, and it is that small voice. And it's beautiful because the vibrations from this therapy, and you attune people to it, it has changed lives, and that is quite spectacular, and some would call it miraculous, but it's here for all of us, right? And it's really source light dynamics.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we train practitioners, we do a basic attunement for people that just want to experience it. And what we're finding as it's growing and expanding, because light is not stagnant, it grows, it expands, it changes, it morphs into different things. So when people come to us for the attunements, whether it's a source alignment attunement or the practitioner, it's going to enhance anything they're doing. It's also going to bring them to a place where they're meant to be. So it is sacred geometries of light shifting us and moving us to where we are within our divine blueprint. And it's very conscious, very intelligent, and it knows exactly what somebody requires. And I'm still sort of 10 years on, completely amazed by the vastness of the dynamics of this energy, which again is just simply source. It supports us in all areas of our lives. I don't like to talk about myself too much or big myself up, because that's not where I am. I'm very humbled in what I do, but it is absolutely changing people's lives. But it does depend on how far you want to go with it, because it is very, very transformational, and it can be uncomfortable, because if you imagine you live your life in this little contained, controlled environment, and suddenly something comes in and it wants you to expand into your full potential, that can be a little bit daunting for some people, because they're comfortable where they are and they know where they are, they know everything about where they are. But when something else comes in that wants them to feel everything that they are, it can be a little bit, it's uncomfortableness, if there is such a word, but it's uncomfortable so that it shifts you to where you need to be. So very, very transformational.
Yes, let's reiterate that. So, the uncomfortableness, if you could call it that, would be the resistance to the light, the resistance to the surrender, right?
Yes, it'll be what people term maybe as a separated identity, the separated consciousness, not wishing to know of something that's greater than that they have made for themselves. So human beings are very complex, very, very complex. But if part of our DNA or our blueprint is to experience all that we are, then this light gives us the opportunity to do just that, to unlock the divine potential that's within our very DNA.
And so here we are 10 years later with you on this journey. Congratulations. I would like to get your perception on the awakening process as you've witnessed it. Is it beginning to steamroll? Are you noticing?
Absolutely. I mean, if we were to go back 100 years and then fast forward to now, we definitely are evolving as if I could call it species. We evolve technologically, but also we must look at it evolving within the human being itself, for want of a better term. But people are waking up. People are still learning about Reiki, so people are still on the first rung of the ladder. Many people are at the top of the ladder, but we are evolving, we are awakening, but it's still little baby steps for some people. It's still very new. If you mention Reiki to some people, they're like, what's that? So the pebble has been cast in the water and the ripples are growing, if you like, but we still are, many people are testing the waters as to what is my capability, what is the light, what am I able to achieve within this vessel. So the vessel is evolving. Part of this journey is that we have a light that guides us. And I have to say there is one light that guides us on our correct path. The light that is Source. And other people are working with Source. I'm not just saying that's the be-all, end-all of Metatronia. What I'm saying is there are other people bringing in energies that are helping people to understand that we are evolving and we are awakening, but baby steps still. Although there's lots in there for us to work with, baby steps for some people.
Baby steps for some people, because we are really relearning in this lifetime, in this incarnation, to hold light. Have we had an incarnation where we were light?
I think we always are light. We always have been light. If you believe in past lives, we are always light. It's funny because I'm just creating child practitioner webinar. I've been working on it this evening. And basically, I not to go off track, but what I'm putting in there is the child already comes, or as Metatron was saying to me, that before we're born, we are already light. And so somehow from the point of light into the physical incarnation, we lose a connection, and it's something to do with the separation, which may all be part of this journey back to oneness and the journey of ascension, but we somehow lose this connection. Well, babies, if you're to work with babies, to be in their presence, you will experience pure divine love, pure divine light. But as we become programmed, we kind of lose this, it's almost like we slow down and we have to begin the process again, because we lose this light. And it's very, very sad that we lose it, because we're already light. We always are light, and we always will be light. And it's learning to come back to our divine blueprint, I guess, is what this journey is all about. But we always are light. We always have been awakened. It's just that there's things that shadow this, that come in and try and pull us off track. So if I may answer that simply, we are always and will always be light, first and foremost.
Okay, so let's take comfort in that. Anytime we're ever in despair, there is a surrender to this light. And that surrender, the letting go of what our mind or the ego takes as so serious, it really is just beautiful to feel that expression of letting go and allowing the light. I believe it's really allowing this light, right? Would you have anything to share more on how the mind takes us out of that?
It's the vibration, it's our vibrational patterning that takes us out of alignment, if you like. So every thought, emotion, action is vibration. So if you're happy, joyful, harmonious, then you're aligned and you're fully in your light. If you look at some of the denser emotions, such as jealousy, unhappiness, you know the lower end of the spectrum, this takes us out of vibrational alignment. So it's very, very, very much, Metatron teaches us that it's very, very much about the vibrational alignment that we can find within ourselves without anybody else helping us or having to do anything. But if we're aware of the vibration within us, we can raise that within ourselves in a millisecond. We can. So what I do sometimes, if I find myself on a sort of lower end of the scale in vibration, I think of a thermometer and I take it from 0 and I push up to 10, and I suddenly feel I've taken myself out of that downward sort of end of the thermometer, and I'm able to lift myself back up. And these are little tools we can use without even having to bring in the intervention of light. So human beings are very, very much based on emotion, and emotion is key to vibrational reality, vibrational alignment.
Ah, yes, our emotion is key. And so we are becoming masters of those emotions. It's really beautiful how this work has assisted so many people in the 10 years that you have been bringing it forth. I want to share a comment here from Randy, who I know you know Randy. He's a sainted soul in our group, and he's on our calls all the time and such a regular. And he speaks so highly of your work, Tammy. He says, yes, he says, such a genuinely generous and brilliantly gifted teacher healer. Wow, my years of experience make it easy to recommend these opportunities highly. That's beautiful. Thank you for that, Randy.
Thank you. You got me blushing.
Good. You look cute when you blush. Well, and he also says my life is certainly better knowing Tammy and the healing opportunities she shares with the world. Isn't that just the best comment of all?
Oh, yeah.
And I do have to say that too. You know, when I've worked with you, it opened my eyes. It's so subtle. I know we were saying that it could be uncomfortable, but that's only if we really resist it, okay? When we bring them out about this light, the light is going to show those parts that really need to become up to be released or healed or transcended.
Absolutely.
And from my personal experience, it is just so exquisite. This Metatronia therapy experience opened my eyes to the beauty of the world, nature. I've always been in tune with nature, but I remember driving down the road just in a blissful state, in love with everything, almost in tears, because I was still in that highly activated field of this vibration that we were immersed in. So it really is beautiful, and it does not have to be uncomfortable, as we said. So we're going to really experience this now, because that is the best way to really feel it and to enjoy it. So can you lead us on a little journey here, Tammy?
Absolutely. So let's do light body, if that's okay.
Yay!
So
Perfect.
Just relax and let's just breathe and find ourselves comfortably just relaxing. And as I'm talking, I'm just going to sort of relax the body as you do with meditation. You just sit, relax, close your eyes, begin to watch the breath. And as we exhale, we get a little bit more relaxed and maybe shift around in the body to feel relaxed. But very, very swiftly, as we bring the light in, we begin to lift up higher, as if we're lifting out of the density of the physical body. So just allow that light to come in. And very swiftly lifting us up. And feeling as if we're dissolving out of the physical. And lifting up higher and higher. Imagining we're lifting up off the ground and past the trees. And very swiftly past, higher up past the clouds. As if we're being pulled up magnetically by this beautiful force of light. Fully dissolved. And lifting up past the blue sky. and higher into the realms of the planets. And faster, higher still. Just being moved up higher. And feeling the light, the expansion as we dissolve into light. And becoming aware of the beautiful rays of white light surrounding us. A light so bright. And we are transparent. And we are light body. And we are now just floating as one with the stars. And ever so expansive. And now bringing in the energy of Archangel Metatron. And the energy of Jesus, Yeshua, Isa. And the energy of Thoth or Thoth. The Trinity Masters of Light. Just feeling their love. And the magnificent light. And if you feel a little bit of resistance, just breathe as you're dissolving further. Lifting up a little bit higher. And in your emptiness, you are part of everything. You are expanded in a light so bright. So just enjoying the silent connection for a few moments. You are a body of light. And you have so much potential within your being that is boundless and limitless. It's expanding into light and expanding into divine love. And at this point, perhaps send out a wish to allow Source to verify to you perhaps something you wish for, or just to be shown verification. And trusting, believing, and above all being open to receive. expanding into light body. Just simply dissolving into light. It's part of the stars and universe. And the beautiful thing is, you're able to bring this light back into the most beautiful of creation. The physical human incarnation. A rainbow of starlight is just flooding through your being, empowering and raising your frequency. And the brightest starburst, excuse me, is raising light within the heart, flowing love throughout every part of your being. So hold that love and be that light. And be that beautiful creation. As we slowly move back down into the physical vessel, floating down and merging once again with the physical, and yet holding the abundance of light within the heart. So just coming back down into the physical. Feeling Mother Earth at your feet. And in your own time, excuse me, just come back into the physical vessel and fully awakened into the here and now in this beautiful vessel of light.
We are embodying light.
Sorry, I lost my voice halfway through. So sorry.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Tammy. Holding this light and love, feeling this vibration, knowing that it's right here, all the time. That is so powerful, and that is the transformation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I know that there are some who are still floating with that, but to feel this, it is exquisite. So let's take some questions. If there's anyone who would like to ask Tammy a question about your own journey, your own evolution, she can assist you with that. If you're on the phone, *2 to raise your hand, or you can chat over our Q&A box at acoustichealth.com. We would love to hear your experience of that. It's something that the allowing actually enables us to feel it. the intention of the allowing just brings in this pristine awareness of it. That's great. So, Tammy, can you share with us, here we are almost in 2020. This is just an amazing time. We were talking about even so far this year in 2019, everything, it seems, is getting an upgrade. And it's like a light upgrade where machinery, appliances, equipment, all getting repairs. Sometimes they're breaking down completely. You need a whole new one. What's going on here? This is so we can align in a different way.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, from what I understand about the question, to me, what I feel is that how can I put this? If more interest was put into the human vessel, as it was in, say, the latest mobile phone, my goodness, the whole world would be in line with its ascension journey. And I think that there's always something that comes to us to show us that something isn't right or something has to change by what we class as divine intervention. We've seen this a lot in the news of late, which I won't go into, but we can still keep building the greatest phones, the latest televisions, the greatest cars, the planes, but when are we going to look at the upgrading to the human vessel? And this is what we're working with when we work with light. This is what people are feeling, when they're feeling a little bit anxious, they're feeling out of source, because the energies are coming in and telling us that there has to be change here. There has to be change within the vessel. And the only way that we listen is when we feel something. And when we feel something, we need to understand. And then maybe when we understand something, we realize that there's an energy here that's trying to help us. So particularly, this is necessary in the field of medical for humans, healing humans, raising our awareness of different ways we can intervene and help to heal and align the physical vessel. So it's great to have these new technologies, but I think there's some kind of little bit of a message in there that, your focus is probably not where it needs to be. And this year is a year of great revelation. And I believe that revelation is in how people are sensing these energies within their vessel, that they can't quite explain what's going on. And everybody's feeling it. Everybody's feeling. There's those that are awakened enough to understand what's occurring, and those that haven't a clue, and so they experience it a little bit different. But we're all receiving upgrades. We're all plugged into this wonderful, let's call it this electrical system that is upgrading like you would a computer. We have to do this, but for mankind to survive, we have to have these upgrades. We have to evolve. That's my take on this. I hope that answers.
Yes, it does. Thank you. And the best way that we can move through this at these times is to stay centered in the heart and to replace it all with this love from the heart as we adapt. That's a key word. We adapt in these energies, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because anything if you imagine the scale, and anything in the middle of the scale is wonderful. Anything to the left or the lower bit would be out of alignment. Anything higher would also be out of alignment. So it's this central point that links us straight up to source is teaching us about the importance of this vibrational alignment, what links us into the great central sun, if you like. We've just experienced it with that brief meditation, a central point that lifts us higher. And what it's showing us is we have this capability and ability within our being to be this higher love, this higher being, this positive radiance. And this is what we can do within our own being and it ricochets and helps other people if they can also kind of know the map to their almost salvation. I want to say salvation. Their vibrational alignment is key, absolute key.
The vibrational alignment is key. Okay. So anything that takes us out of this bliss and this connection needs to be looked at and realigned, reassessed, reevaluated, and dissolved. This is the journey. Okay. Tell us how we can work with Metatronia therapy. You've got a couple of attunements, and of course you're training practitioners all across the world so people can actually get certified in this, trained in this, and use it in their own healing practice. But also, even just someone who wants to be attuned in a non-healer's way, there's that option as well. So talk a little bit about how we work with Metatronia therapy.
Yes, of course. So we have the basic, what I class as the basic, it's not basic, but it's the initial sort of turning the light on, if you like. It's the soul alignment attunement, and that's for somebody that just wants to experience this light, to align the vessel with the divine blueprint, working with source, not as a practitioner, just for their own alignment, ascension and awakening journey. A lot of people take that one and then they go on and do the other sort of attunements, but most people just want the soul alignment because they just want to experience what source has to offer for them. We then have a training foundation where we train practitioners to work as healers, to heal other people, to pass on this light to other people. And then we have the next stage of that is master attuners, which they have another attunement so they can go on and attune people. And in the beginning when I was setting it up, I thought, oh goodness, this means totally sharing this. This means it's something that's come to me. This was like the separation identity at the time. And you want me to share it? It was like, yes, we want you to share it. So over the 10 years, we now have soul alignment attunement, healer attunement, master attunement, workshop facilitators for people to run these workshops and run these trainings to groups. Then we have light counselor training where we train people to be light counselors. And it's just growing and growing and growing. So it depends on how you want to work with this, how far you want to go with this. But many just start at the basic level, which is the initial soul alignment, to get a feel of the energy.
Yeah. That's a great place to start. And so I want to point everyone to your special offer. Again, that is available on the webpage that you're listening to this show on. There's a link to it. And there's a couple of ones here. So the Metatronia Vibrational Healing and Alignment Session, that is priced incredibly well. So you really are sharing that because that is just a beautiful, affordable price. And is that for the soul alignment?
Yeah, basically it's what happens is we set up a date and time and the person just lies down for an hour and just allows the energies to come in. And this is usually a very unique experience for each person. I can't say what they're going to experience because for every divine blueprint there are different geometries. So it very much depends on that unique vessel, that unique person, that unique body. That is just an initial sort of connection with the light. And that can do many, many things. I mean, it has the healing capability, alignment capability with vibrational alignment, but also some people that have taken the soul alignment attunement, they've gone on to do different things. It's almost as if a light's gone on and they know their mapping, they know the direction they're to go in. So it's quite a special, it's a special alignment, that one. And then we obviously have the practitioner stuff, and that's for people that might already be, say, Reiki practitioners or therapists in other fields that maybe just want to enhance what they're working with and maybe add an additional sort of modality to what they're doing.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I know we've got a lot of healers a lot of people who are coming into their healing abilities. They want to start their healing practice. And this is really a great program for them to begin with or even supplement their portfolio with, right? So, and again, for someone to get certified in this as a Metatronia healer, again, that is a very affordable price. You've got level 1 here. Can you share a little bit about what the healer would do with this Metatronia healer level 1 attunement?
Yes, of course. Well, first of all, they would have their own attunement to become attuned. There's that word again. I love the word attuned. Actually, it has a lot of, it explains quite a lot in a small word. But they become attuned, so we set up a distant attunement. Once they've had that attunement, we often say just give it a week or so for the energy to settle. And then they're given workbooks, some other files and recordings for them to look at. There's over 3 years of webinar recordings for practitioners. So there's a lot of question and answers that they can have a look at. And we kind of provide them with everything they need to set up their own practice as a light worker. They can go through their own process, and then they've got all that they need to set up a practice if they want to help other people using Metatronia Vibration. But what can often happen as well is it's not just a healing modality. This is alignment with Source, so it can take you on an amazing journey. It can take you somewhere you've never been. We have people that do this and have gone on to do other things. So it's not just about, hey, I want to become a practitioner. This is very, very dependent on what those geometries have in line for you. So, yeah, we've had people start at the very base level of soul alignment attunements, and then now sort of very, very high-end sort of spiritual counselors doing phenomenal work for people. So it's never to be boxed in. As I said earlier, if you were to look at Metatron's cube and you see the vastness of the geometries that pop out to us, there's no end to the capabilities of what you can do with this frequency. So what Metatron always guides us is, if you just allow yourself to be open and surrender to whatever is coming for you, then this takes off your breaks and limitations you might hold within your sort of consciousness of being just three-dimensional. It opens you up to many, many, many dimensions.
Living in our multidimensional self more and more with this. So do you, when someone takes on this program as a healer, as a practitioner, do you recommend what they charge for their services? Do you have suggestions for that? Is there, or are they free to do this at whatever they feel is appropriate?
Well, good question. And if I might answer honestly, well, we have the Foundation of Light, the Metatronia Foundation of Light. So within that, we have sort of like a Facebook private group. We have newsletters, Instagram and things like that. But what I would say is it's very much up to them, but Metatron's not in this for the money. So I know you have people that charge sort of $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 for 3 months training. That's not going to work with this, because if we remember, we're working with Source, so there's an element of coming out of the identity body. So I always let the practitioners know to work with discernment, work in love, light and honesty. So if we're going to be doing things like that, it's not really going to be part of working from a true heart. That's just my take on this. I certainly wouldn't take that sort of amount of money off anyone, but as a practitioner, it's just work within, discernment, truth and honesty. And this is Source, so it needs to be open to everybody, accessible to everybody. This is why I don't charge the earth, because I feel that although there should be some exchange, of course, it doesn't have to be sort of ridiculously priced.
Right. And so you have webinars where you work with your practitioners. Can your practitioners take this and do their own webinars on a healing level?
That would probably need to be workshop facilitator level. The reason being, Lauren, is what I've found in the past is if somebody has something, often in human nature, people want to own something and dissect it. And this is what's happened with Reiki, if I might say so. The beautiful, beautiful purity of that energy has become so dissected that it's lost its original blueprint. So we have the foundation of light, and that is to honor, protect, and look after this frequency. So we have the different levels of attunement so that we can keep in contact with our practitioners, support them, and also there's kind of like a little family that we're part of, and we help each other, we help the practitioners, we monitor the attunements to make sure that the people that are being attuned have the files that they need, they have the care that they require, and they have a point of contact if they need to discuss any aspects of this. So workshop facilitator level, people are then able to go on and create, excuse me, I'm losing my voice, create webinars. But we have a lot of materials as well. So what we say is, here's a kind of like a little blueprint for you, and you're free to adapt stuff within the remit of Metatronia, because again, we do take care of the energy because we don't want it to be diluted. It cannot be diluted because it's just pure source, if that makes sense.
Yes, I mean, just feel into that. Feel into that. We're really working with this energy, attuning people to it. And again, that is very transformational. So thank you for the foundation of light. That is your baby. And what I love about this too, Tammy, is that those healers who are practitioners are listed on the website. So you're almost promoting them in that sense as well.
Yeah, we have about 12,000 hits a month. So what I do is, again, it's all about sharing, because this is for the light workers. I just do the admin. It's there for you to put your name there. It shows that you're registered with an accredited and approved training provider, which is the Foundation of Light. We have training events. We have live events. I do like a monthly meditation group. So your name's on there. It's for advertising, but you're also part of. We have people that are good friends. They connect with each other, other sides of the globe, and on the Facebook page, people. We've got some brilliant friends made with people because they just link in and know that they've got this affinity with somebody. They've got likeness with other people, and they share the same interests. And yeah, but what I found is the people that really, really, really want to work with the purest light, they're drawn to this, and they're the ones that go pretty far with this vibration. It's always on a principle of truth, honesty, and just being a true being of light. So yeah, it has some amazing dynamics.
Light dynamics for light workers, helping the world, assisting the world in this great shift of the ages. Beautiful. Thank you, Tammy. And so some other things that I've noticed about your work is the meditations are really exquisite and high vibe, taking us to 0 points, taking us to theta, taking us to this source light to experience it. And you are offering those meditations. I count 16 of them here, and they're quite beautiful. Can you share a little bit about these meditations that you're including?
Yes, absolutely. There's a little bit of a story behind those. So I think there's a 16. So the first 6 or 7 were done about 2008, 2009. Before I got into this work, I used to work at a centre, and I used to do meditations, and I realised that I couldn't get these people back. Once they'd got into the meditation, they were taken somewhere else, and I'm like, well, goodness me. So I realised that was my sort of little sign from the universe that something else was occurring. So there's a mixture of very, very early meditations, and you'll sense them as you listen to them, that then you get into Metatronia's born, and you see quite a shift in the almost the vibrational ratio and the light within the meditation. So there's a transmission of light in there also. There's meet your spirit guides. There's a lovely one where you go into a temple. So yeah, there's quite a few different sort of ends of the spectrum meditations for you to choose from and listen to. But one of the most popular ones is the transmissions of light and the be open to receive. I think it's called the Metatron. They're quite high. And as you're in that sort of stasis, that space of nothingness, I guess you call it 0 point. This is where we truly, truly begin to listen to Source from a place that's above the carnal structures, above the sort of identity body. We're almost taken back to before the womb, if you like, before we're born, back into this pot of Source where we go there and there's no time there. So we go in there, we collect what we need to collect, and we come back out and we then start to breathe again and come back into the physical. So yeah, there are dynamics in the meditations themselves as to where they reach us and take us to. They're not the normal kind of meditations.
Yes, not so normal in those meditations, very potent and highly energetic, and really assisting us in listening to Source. I love how you put that. Listening to Source, truly being guided by Source. This is our birthright, our God-given birthright, and it's very powerful to have a tool that facilitates this in such a profound way. So that is beautiful. I can't reiterate that enough. And thank you, Tammy, because this is really, I mean, a decade so far. I bet it doesn't feel like a decade, and maybe it feels like 20 years, right? And we've got the whole feeling here. But it's beautiful, and it's indicative of where we're moving in our evolution of humanity. And this is where this work, this inner work, this work with spirit is a requirement as humanity moves forward. Would you agree?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm laughing because the other day I thought I better put all my files from the last 10 years into some sort of proper order. And I looked at them all. I thought, you know what? The work is out there. The work it has its foundation. There's so much material there, and I'm learning more and more that the more we can come out of the mind and the old ways and begin to listen to this outer, the truth of who we are from this expandedness. We don't need to collect things, and we just need to just be this divine human. And life becomes so much more lighter and simpler as we unburden.
Yes. It becomes simpler and easier. Can you talk a little bit about any of the synchronicities that you've seen? You know, we talk about the word flow. This, when we talk about alignment, this is putting us in the flow. When we're able to follow that divine voice, receive the downloads, right? I know of late people are getting a lot of downloads. And so this is the inner guidance. Then we just have to follow that. And synchronicities that we see along the way are a good indicator.
Oh, absolutely. I'll let you into a little sort of personal thing. I won't go too personal, but a few years ago, when I first started this work, you're going to go to California. I'm thinking I've never, ever been to America. So I went to California and I met my dearest, most beautiful sister. She's now my sister. I love her dearly. And we're at this workshop and this gentleman came, and now we're wonderful friends as well because he was the same energy as Metatron. So you can't make this up. I mean, you can't, in my human mind, from that sort of three-dimensional level, you can't imagine these things. And when Source hits you with something that's so divinely synchronized, a meeting together, coming together, you have to believe, and it's constantly pushed me and shown me things too. You have to believe, and I never ever doubt the energy that is there. I would never ever doubt because of what I've experienced, and I know that other people will experience these beautiful things too. It's something you can't describe, Lauren. It has to be experienced, and there is this. It's amazing. This divine intelligence that is just everything. It's beyond words for me. I can't. You'd think 10 years in I'd be able to explain it to you, and I can't. I just know that it's magical.
Yeah. True magic. and the synchronicity, it just puts a smile on our face when we're able to observe it from a bird's eye view and just see how we are provided for, the connections that are made. And it's just fun to witness, and that's the best that we can do when we're in this alignment and the flow. It's magic.
Absolutely.
And it's beautiful to be really free of doubt. I know that that is one thing that the human in us always has to tackle. But if we look at it as if, why in the world, if this is source light, this is the light dynamics, this is the power of the universe, and yet on a human level, we can give our worries so much reality, right? We can believe so much in our worries that there comes a point where we have to just flip it and believe in this so much. And I think that's what this energy work that you're doing helps us achieve. It helps us really feel it, experience it, recognize it, and anchor it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm laughing because Metatron tells me that, well, you can be that fragile vessel if you want and not believe in anything, but you can become this expansive, beautiful, aligned vessel and see what the universe brings to you. And it works. It's quite amazing how things work. Last year I thought I'd set up this light counselling where I just work with somebody once a month for 12 months, and I'll charge them a little bit more money than what I usually. And it didn't sit right with me, and I thought, I can't do that. That's wrong. And the moment I sent it out there, within 5 minutes, somebody had booked on it. So the universe will always tell you if something's right because it will work. And it's all about trust, and you're not a fragile vessel. You are the most divine, magical part of the universe. So if we feel that vastness and that empowering energy, my goodness, there's nothing we can't achieve. We are limitless.
We are limitless, and as we stand here in a frequency on New Earth, this is a powerful tool. We are vast, and we are expansive, beautiful vessels. So I just want to thank you. As it's very late where you are right now, I want to thank you for your dedication to this, your commitment to this, your trust in it, and it's beautiful. We can feel your soul work here, Tammy.
It's all for you guys.
So as we say goodbye today, again, I want to point our listeners to your beautiful special offer. Check out the Healing and Alignment session and the Soul Alignment Attunement. What's the difference between those two?
Okay, yeah, so a healing and alignment session would just be a healing and alignment session, although there's a lot that goes in, the body scan, the source knows what's required. So it's very, very much, it's not just a one-off session. What you'll find is when that energy comes in, it can be a couple of weeks that it's still working with you to bring healing and alignment. The soul alignment is more of a long-term connection. It's more of, it differs from the healing alignment because it's the soul connecting physically in this dimension where you are now. So it's more of not just a one-off session. It's got longevity to it. It's an ongoing. Whereas the healing alignment can be, somebody may book that once a month and have a couple a year or something. Whereas the soul alignment will probably be much more in the toolbox, if you like.
Thank you. Okay. Beautiful. So a little ways someone can dabble in this, and, a little way, it's still 60 minutes. Those are quite beautiful sessions. 60 minutes. There's magic that happens there. And then the soul alignment, and then, of course, the Metatronia healer. I know we've had lots of practitioners align with this and take this on in their work, and that's beautiful. So that is all there for those who wish to work with this more deeply. Thank you for that, Tammy.
No problem.
Well, as we say goodbye, I want to just give you a moment to speak on anything of importance that we might not have touched on, but that would be something to inspire everyone for these times that we're moving through.
Of course, I feel that if you know there's an energy there that supports you, regardless of whether you're going to work with this energy or not, there is a light that guides you and supports you. And I think if you just know that that's there, you begin to open up a different dimension within your being. You're not alone on this journey. There's an intelligent light that's here to support you, and it's helping us to uncover all that we are. So if you even just are aware of that, then your life will begin to change.
Change is here. We are on New Earth, and it begins within us. Thank you, Tammy Myshak, for sharing this beautiful method that aligns us with source frequency in a rapid way, in a gentle way, and opens a different dimension within us. So beautiful.
Be love. Love's so important.
Be love. Love is all there is, and we embody it. We are it. We live it. Thank you so much, Tammy. This has been a beautiful quantum conversation.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We'll talk to you again. And for those listening, if you'd like to take advantage of Tammy Myshak's beautiful Metatronia opportunity, please visit the special offer page here at acoustichealth.com. For now, we leave you with some beautiful music to help us dance our way to the cosmic heart. Enjoy. to this quantum conversation, and thank you for dancing with us to the cosmic heart. As we raise our own vibration, we raise the vibration of the planet. This show is dedicated to you and all awakening hearts as we are here to shine our bright light and amplify our love. Access all quantum conversations, special offers from our guests, and online healing retreats by visiting acoustichealth.com. I'm Loren Gailey, and from my sacred heart to yours, I honor your magnificent love and light. We leave you now with music from the universe, music literally created by the universe as musical notes were assigned to mathematical equations. The result is this beautiful music available at acoustichealth.com. Namaste.